Welcome to the Temple of Nerds podcast, your one-stop shop for everything Star Wars, Nintendo, Marvel, and anything else video games, nerdy TV, or just straight up awesome. I'm D-Bills.
And I am TJ. And today we're going to be talking about Pocket Monsters, our wish lists, movies, and superheroes.
So strap in, pop those headphones into your ear holes, and get ready for two nerds talking your ears off.
I'm so proud of you once again.
Two episodes in a row.
I know.
2 episodes in a row.
Really killing it.
Oh, unbelievable. Unreal. Man, I better quit while I'm ahead, you know?
Yeah, I'll do it next week.
There you go.
So, D-Bills, what have you been playing these past couple weeks?
What have I been playing these past couple of... So I went and bought a wonderful little game called Graveyard Keeper.
I think I saw you streaming that briefly the other day.
You may have, yeah. So I bought it. I think it's been out for maybe 2 years now, and I bought it shortly after it came out on Xbox, just because it was there. I think, I don't know, and it was a lot of fun to play on there. But I kind of immediately regretted not getting it on Switch. But then I think it might still be on the like New Year's / Christmas sale on the Switch. Mm-hmm. So I picked it up on there, and it is essentially a incredibly tongue-in-cheek Stardew Valley.
Okay, cool. That's kind of what it looked like when I was watching you play. I only watched you for a little while.
So the humor in it is amazing.
Good.
There's a talking skull who like kind of helps you out on your journey. Mm-hmm. You're walking home from work one day, texting your wife, your boo thang, right? And it just shows your hand holding a phone, texting your like girlfriend or your wife or whatever, and then you hear screeching tires, and then you see the phone on the ground next to his hand or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then the screen goes dark, and then it comes up with the little main character sprite talking to the Grim Reaper sprite.
Okay.
And the Grim Reaper essentially says like, well, that's it for that life. Now you're the Graveyard Keeper. And
you've been randomly chosen.
Yeah, and you just get thrown into this new world as the Graveyard Keeper, and your character like has no idea what's going on, and all the people in this new world are just like, oh yeah, the Graveyard Keeper, sure, fine. So you run the graveyard, and in the middle of the graveyard is a church. Uh-huh. And the priest shows up, and he's like, oh, hey, random Graveyard Keeper, would you like to also be the priest of this church? So now you're running sermons, weekly sermons.
Oh my gosh.
And you use the faith that you gather from the sermons to like level yourself up, mm-hmm. essentially. And just the whole thing is like one hilarious happenstance after another, and like you're just doing things just for no apparent reason. But I said to my wife this morning when I was playing it that Graveyard Keeper is one of those games that makes me really, really impressed with people who write games. Yeah. Obviously I'm always impressed with the people who make the games, mm-hmm. but like the people who write the games, yeah. which I think in this case is like the same, they're one and the same. Mm-hmm. But it's so convoluted, and it's like, okay, go over to talk to the guy over there and get a fish. and bring that fish to the guy over there, and he's going to give you an onion seed, and go plant that onion seed, and then bring the onion to the guy over there, and he's going to give you a book, and you bring the book into the basement, and you give it to the guy hanging out in the basement, and the guy hanging out in the basement's going to open the door, and once you open the door, you'll get to the dungeon, and then you go into the, and just like so on and so forth, and it's just
kind of like that
God,
old like RPG fetch quest type thing.
Oh yeah, and it's tons of fetch quests, but they're like just completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they've come out with 3 DLCs for the game, right? There's only 2 on the Switch currently. The 2 on the Switch are titled Stranger Sins and Breaking Dead.
Oh my god. That's really good. They're really invoking that nerdness for us.
The third one that's on PC, which I think came out like 2 or 3 months ago, is called Game of Crones. Or Game of Crone. I think it's just God. Game of Crone.
That's still fantastic though. Oh my god. And how much is this game?
I think it's only like $20.
That's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. And it's like it has a lot of playtime in it.
Yeah.
Because it's, like I said, it's completely convoluted, and like it's really drawn out, and like the world is huge, but like so where Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon, right? You're only awake in Story of Seasons. Sorry, you're only awake from what, like 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. the next day. Yeah. This game has an energy. It's energy based, so you can be awake 24/7. But eventually your energy will stop coming back when you eat food. So then you have to sleep. But you just sleep for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then you wake up again. So there's stuff that can only happen at night. There's stuff that can only happen in the day. There's stuff that happens every Tuesday between 3 and 8. So like if you're running out of energy around noon, you have to like stop and like wait for 3 o'clock, or you go to sleep and hopefully you remember to wake yourself back up. Like
that sounds like a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun, but it's one of those games where I take notes while I'm playing to like remember what I have to do. And like on Xbox I was taking pictures of the screen a lot with my cell phone, but on Switch there's a handy little, you know,
you can capture it right there.
Right. So I've been using that a lot, but yeah, that's what I've been playing.
That's cool. I'm intrigued by that. I'm very intrigued by that.
I've been really enjoying it.
Let's see. I have been playing. I've had the game for a little while now, and probably about a month, give or take. But I recently just started playing. I've been playing Immortals: Phoenix Rising.
Yes.
Have you heard about that?
I've seen you playing that, and I have heard of it, and it's kind of like, I mean, I'm sure I'm very off, but it's kind of like a Breath of the Wild's, like Genshin Impact, like right along the same lines as those, right?
You're very right, yes.
Yeah, okay.
It is more like Breath of the Wild than Genshin Impact is, because Genshin Impact is like it more functions like an MMO / gacha game. But Immortals: Phoenix Rising actually has like a story.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. It definitely runs better on other systems than it does the Switch. But I mean, I'm okay with 30 frames per second. That's fine with me. Like the graphics are fine. They look good, especially in handheld mode. But the gameplay is a lot of fun, and it's very much like Breath of the Wild. Like very much a situation where, you know, you got to get to like a high point so that you can unlock the map around you, like and then there's things that you can go down to that are all basically the shrines from Breath of the Wild. You got puzzles that you have to do in order to get to the end, and then when you get to the end you get a commodity that helps you grow stronger. But it's all like Greek mythology and stuff instead of Zelda. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's very tongue-in-cheek. It's very like the humor is definitely it's not meant to be taken seriously. Like we're not dealing with the amount of lore in terms of like Norse mythology in God of War, for example, like that's all taken very seriously.
Oh yeah.
This one here, Prometheus and Zeus are narrating the whole game.
Oh no.
Yeah, and they're just going back and forth like just talking all these like little jokes and stuff, and it's funny, but it's also just a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's a thing that you can use with your bow, where instead of just shooting an arrow, you shoot an arrow and then you physically direct where the arrow goes and stuff.
Oh, that's fun.
So you like have to do puzzles where you have to like light a bunch of torches and stuff with that, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It's definitely a good game to play while we wait for Breath of the Wild 2,
Sure.
which I am now just waiting for an update, let alone the game itself.
Right.
But I'm really enjoying it, and I would suggest it if you're into that type of thing.
All right.
It's an Ubisoft game, so
Sure.
it's going to be good quality, but it's also probably not going to be the best game in the whole world. Typical Ubisoft.
Typical Ubisoft.
But I'm having fun with it, so that's really what matters. And I got it on sale. So
oh, there you go. Can't beat that.
Nope, can't beat that at all. So let's see,
right.
Derek, what happened was it this week or was it last week?
That was last week. It was the end of last week. Yeah,
That's
we
right.
didn't do a show last week.
No.
So this was the end of last week. We got, I mean, I was kind of surprised that it popped out of nowhere, but we got a Pokemon Snap trailer.
Yes, we did.
My goodness, that game looks beautiful.
You know what blows my mind? Now, do you remember God, this was a year and a half ago at this point?
Sure.
Probably a little bit longer, when they first showed us and first started talking about Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Actually, no, this is probably even longer than a year and a half ago. It's probably almost 2 years ago that they started talking about Sword and Shield.
Yep.
And we now have Sword and Shield. We've got all the DLC. It's a good game. Looks good for the most part.
Yep.
And then you look at Pokemon Snap and you're like, holy shit, this is what Pokemon Sword and Shield could have looked like. Should have looked like, yes. Because it looks amazing.
It looks so good.
Like what I'm seeing in that trailer is how I saw the original Pokemon Snap through my own little nostalgic child eyes.
Right. It's one of those. It's the original Pokemon Snap is one of those games that I will play over and over again, because it really, if you're good enough at the game and if you remember where everything is, it takes about half an hour to beat.
Yeah. I've beaten it about a half an hour.
Yeah, so I'll pick it up, erase my content, and start it over just for funsies every once in a while. But it's kind of tough to go back to because it is on the N64, and it didn't. A lot of N64 games haven't aged very well, but still, it's a very simple control. So it's not like the controls feel clunky because they never really did. But just playing that game and just wanting it to be so much more, since Pokemon Snap, the original, is like a third of the original 150, maybe less.
If that, yeah. I was gonna say that's even an estimate.
And now there's
like a generous estimate.
Right, and now there's what, 950, 1,000?
Hold on, we're not at 1,000.
Yeah,
yet.
we're gonna.
How many Pokemon are there?
But I think we're 9 generations in.
980.
And 980. Okay.
932 if 980 is including Mega Evolutions.
Okay, so 932, sure.
And then you could even get rid of a handful of those, because I think there's those Ultra Beasts that were in Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
So really we're at 893.
Okay, great.
Still,
893. Just under 900.
900 Pokemon.
Yeah. And
ridiculous.
I mean, there's no way they can fit all 900 Pokemon into a Pokemon Snap. The game would take years to complete.
No. And I wouldn't expect them to, honestly.
Right.
Like,
and
do
people
we
are
really
going
need
to
see? Do we really need to see Klefki?
Right.
Like the key Pokemon, we don't need to see him.
People are going to be upset that their favorite Pokemon is not in it. I'm gonna be disappointed if Blaziken and Cumbuskin are not in it. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to get an amazing game. Like,
yeah.
I really can't wait for it. And if Pokemon Snap does not use every feature of the Switch that we have, if Pokemon Snap is not a touchscreen game and does not use the gyroscope, that's really the only way I'm going to be disappointed in this
I
game.
would be okay if they don't use a touchscreen. Not many games
Right.
do use a touchscreen, but they have to use gyroscope.
Right.
Actually, and I think they will, because if you noticed in the trailer, hold on, I've got literally a demonstration in my hand. He held up his camera.
Yep.
And his camera looked like a Nintendo Switch, but with only one Joy-Con on it.
Right. Right.
It was flush over here, and then there was a thing over here that had a Joy-Con, and then the screen was there, and the lens came out of the screen.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's meant to be modeled after the Switch.
Sure.
Like the main thing where it looked like it had the Joy-Con controller attached. It looked like it had a trigger.
Right.
Like I'll probably put up some cuts of the trailer on the video and stuff, so I can actually show what that looked like.
But like a camera has the button right there, where like a normal DSLR camera has the button right there where the LR or LZ trigger is.
Yep.
So like I think that'll work really well.
It really looked like it was meant to look like a Switch with a Joy-Con on it.
Right.
So if they don't do motion controls with that game, they seriously missed an opportunity, because we've all been saying that Pokemon Snap should come back ever since the Wii U came out.
Right.
And you had the gamepad, and you could have moved that around just as you can the Switch.
Yep.
And it just makes sense. It doesn't matter whether you're playing on TV or not.
Right.
As long as there's motion controls.
Yeah, and they could even, Pokemon and the Pokemon Company and Nintendo have not been shy about releasing silly little peripherals for for Pokemon games.
Yeah.
So
I'd be fine with a controller.
Going all the way back to Hey You Pikachu.
Yeah.
And giving you a silly Pikachu mic that sits on top of your controller.
Don't remind me about that game.
Let's get a camera.
Yeah.
That your Joy-Con attaches to.
Yep. I think
I'll buy that.
I would probably buy it too. I did not buy the little Pokeball controller, but my brother did. Yeah. So I've been able to use it, and I just had no use for it. I didn't really play Pokemon Go anymore. Like, it was just
right. If only for the Mew, but
whatever.
Whatever.
It's just a Mew. I can't use it competitively anyway. Like,
right. But yeah, no. Give me a what $120 Pokemon Snap Special Edition that comes with the camera.
God, that's so expensive. But yes,
I don't know. I'm just thinking.
No, you're probably right.
$90, because it's not going to be a $30 controller. It's going to be an $80 controller.
Depends on the controller.
Right.
It depends on what it can do.
Right.
Like, if you give me a thing that actually shows what I'm looking at, imagine that. Like, you get a controller with a screen.
Yeah.
You're looking at least $70.
Right.
At least.
Right. And I mean, we're awfully far away. This goes into our next segment of wish lists. Like, we're awfully far away from actual Pokemon Snap to know what we're going to get. And that would be really cool.
When is Pokemon Snap coming out again? I think it was April 30th.
Is it April? Yeah, okay. So it's actually not
April
that far
30th.
away.
Let me just double check that to make sure I've got the
February, March. It is April 30th. Because I remember it being 4 or 5 months away.
Is it? You did check it?
No, I didn't check it, but I just pulled up my calendar.
Yeah, April 30th. April 30th.
April 30th. Yeah. So
it was giving me the original release date of the original one, and I was like, nope, this is not 1999 anymore.
If only.
Yeah. So that being said, we've got new Switch games coming out. We know Pokemon Snap.
Mm-hmm.
We know that Breath of the Wild is in the works.
Yes.
There's also rumors of the Switch Pro.
Yes, the Switch Pro. Ugh.
What kind of if a Switch Pro exists, which I'm pretty sure at this point it's going to.
Yep, either a Switch Pro or a Switch 2 or
something.
Switch, more Switch or something. I don't know.
What do you need it to have in order for you to ditch your old Switch and buy a new one?
So I need a new Switch. I need a new Switch that has cell phone internet that I can add to my cell plan or something, or pay Nintendo some extra fee.
Yep.
And I can use it in the car without having to turn my phone into a hotspot
while you're driving.
While I'm driving.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
No, don't do that.
No, so I can play Pokemon Snap while driving through Yellowstone and pretend to take pictures of a bison, but actually get a picture of a Dragonite, right? That's what I want to be able to do.
Sounds way more fun to me.
Okay. Yeah. And trying to, and my daughter's in the back of the van.
She doesn't care.
Because she's like 1.5 and can't actually talk yet. She's like, yeah.
She's just having a good old time.
That's what I need.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. So I need to be able to play it on the train, in the car. I need to be able to play it on the go.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be able to play it at work on third shift when the kids are sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And not have to worry about having Wi-Fi or having a hot.
Yeah. I agree with that.
That's what I need.
Let's see. I need it to still be portable.
Yes.
Because I'm worried that we have the Switch, we have the Switch Lite, which is only portable, and then I'm worried that the Switch Pro is going to be strictly a home console.
Yeah.
And I already said that the Switch Lite should have some sort of functionality with the dock.
Right.
Just because why call it the Switch anymore?
Right.
Like, it doesn't switch. It's just a handheld. I'm afraid that they're going to do the opposite with this new system. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case based on things that have been talked about, which we'll get to. But I need it to be portable still.
Sure.
I would have a very hard time buying a second Switch if it's only going to be a home system.
Right, or a replacement for your current Switch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the main selling point for that Switch is the fact that you can bring it with you.
Right, and then you can come home and sit on the couch and put it on a dock and play it on your 65-inch TV.
Yeah, I bring mine with me just about everywhere whenever I leave, except for work. Like, I'm not bringing it to work with me. I'm glad that you get to.
I bring mine to work almost every day.
I'm jealous. But
although I have not brought my Switch to work with me in the last week. So my daughter, who, as I just mentioned, is 1 and 2 months, right?
Oh no!
Just learned how to walk last week.
I saw that video.
Yes,
it's adorable.
Yes. And since she has learned to walk, I can no longer find the case that I use to carry my Switch around that has all of the games in it.
Oh no!
I don't even currently have a game in the console. So like I have like 6 or 7 like downloaded games.
Yeah.
But like I don't have Breath of the Wild. I don't have Smash. I don't have Mario Kart. I don't have Pikmin 3. I don't have.
No. And it's just gone. She just took it and went with it.
I don't know where it is. I've been looking for it for a week.
That's actually hilarious.
I'm not sure if it went missing before she started walking or after she started walking. But either way, it's been gone since right around the time that she started walking.
I was going to say, I don't know, it's a pretty big coincidence.
Because my wife lost her wallet for like 3 or 4 days. And then on like Monday or Sunday maybe, well, today's Monday, so that doesn't make any sense. On like Thursday or Friday, I hear my daughter playing with something and like shaking it around. It sounded like coins. And I turn around, look over the couch, and she's just holding my wife's wallet, just going.
Oh, no. Your Switch case is somewhere in this house. In this house. Your house.
My house. I hope it's not in that house. That would be really impressive.
Yeah, what kind of games you got? Maybe I do have it.
She learned how to walk and then ran it all the way down to Florida from Connecticut. Whatever. Just running down 95.
Just going 70 miles an hour in the slow lane.
Playing Mario Kart the whole way. Just
yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's that new? I didn't get it, but like Mario Kart at home, just like following the little thing, like down 95.
Actually, I'm very intrigued by that game. I kind of want it, but I'm also 30.
I also really want it, but the part of being 30 is not what's stopping me. What's stopping me is the fact that my house is not clean enough to run a good Mario Kart track.
Fair. The main reason I want it is because I have 5 cats.
There you go.
And I want them to experience it with me. Anyway, but yes, I need the Switch Pro to be portable. I need it to be. I need it to have everything that the Switch has, and then some.
Yep.
Don't take away stuff. Just give me extra stuff.
Yep. So what would you want it to have? Like what is the ultimate Switch Pro to you?
First of all, I want it to be. I want it to have way more memory. Not even memory. I don't care about the RAM. I want
storage space.
I want storage space. Yes.
Yep.
Because there's 32 on the Switch standard.
Yep.
Like at least give me like.
And I think even beyond that, it only supports. I mean, I might be wrong on this now, but I think originally it only supported 256 gigabyte SD cards.
Which makes sense. I've got a 64 SD card, and even that's full.
Right. Yeah, I only got a 32, and mine's completely full. So
I want it to have what was it? You said 256.
Yeah.
I want it to have at least that standard.
I mean, I don't think you can fit a 1 terabyte in a system that small.
I doubt it.
So, I mean, and have it be less than $500.
Yeah.
So maybe give us 500, 300, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, that'd be nice. 300.
And even though it doesn't necessarily affect me because I don't have a 4K TV, I would like it to be 4K as well.
Docked 4K.
4K. I doubt we'll be able to get undocked 4K.
Yeah, I'm fine with staying at 720 undocked.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 1080 would be nice, but again, you know, you're putting a what is that? Like a 15-inch? Not even. It's like an 8-inch.
Yeah, it's small. I would say 8-inch.
You know, that's going to be expensive.
Yep, sure is. Yep.
So leave it at 720 to keep it, you know, at a good price point, and let us have 4K docked. That'd be nice. Yep.
What about you?
I would like Bluetooth.
Okay.
Give us Bluetooth headphones.
Yep.
Right. We've got all the cell phones now. I just got a Google Pixel 5, which I then immediately dropped, and it now has these 2 lines down the side of it. Yep. I'm like, I'll get a case in a week. It'll be fine. 2 days in, I dropped it. It's got 2 green lines going on the side. 2 sets of dead pixels. Whatever. I have insurance. It's fine.
That's good,
I'm over it.
That's good. I never buy the insurance, so you're lucky you did.
Yeah, no, we started buying insurance recently when we started getting the, like, you know, $800 plus phones.
Yeah.
We're like, no, we're gonna get
good call.
But anyways, this doesn't have a headphone jack.
Really?
Yeah. So, like, I'm gonna get and like the new iPhones don't have headphone jacks.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, so everybody has AirPods now, or, you know, Bluetooth headphones now. So let me use my Bluetooth headphones that I'm using with my phone with my Switch.
Yep.
So I don't have to go buy that peripheral from, you know, whatever XRL secret gaming company from, you know, backwoods Japan that sells a little thing that plugs into the bottom of the Switch to make it Bluetooth. You know?
That would be awesome. I think there is a way to hook up a Bluetooth thing to it, but I think you have to like kind of mod it.
Yeah.
So that means that it would need to be one of the original versions of the Switch, and I think it technically has the technology in it to do it, but you
Right.
have to hack it.
Right.
So
Because what do the Joy-Cons hook up with? It must be
yeah, it
Bluetooth.
has to be Bluetooth. So
I don't know what
maybe
else
they chose
nowadays.
not to. Maybe they chose not to do it with headphones because they didn't want to boggle down the Bluetooth itself. Have multiple things hooked up to it. I don't know, but
Yep. Yep. Who knows? Or it could be any number of reasons. You're marketing it mostly to little kids who do you really want the parents to have to buy $60 Bluetooth headphones when they're also getting their kid a $300 Switch and a $60 game?
mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever. But
what
I would really like Bluetooth headphones. I would also like retooled Joy-Cons. The standard Joy-Cons are just so uncomfortable.
yeah, something with a bit more of a grasp to it.
Right, because you've got that wing attachment that you clip onto the back of your Switch.
This
Yeah,
thing,
give us a first party one of those that we can slide on and off,
hmm
or just make the Joy-Cons have wings on them,
yeah.
or give us
All it would
two
take,
versions.
all it would
Give
take
us two versions.
is just putting a little bit of a handhold, just
Right.
something to hold on to.
Right, or give us two versions. Give us a Switch Pro that has them and a Switch Pro that doesn't.
Yep. It wouldn't even need to be the Switch Pro. It would just need to be the Joy-Cons.
Right.
Like, if you already have a Switch, your Joy-Cons can still work with this, but we're going to include these new Joy-Cons in here that are modeled differently.
Yep.
Something.
Yep.
So, that all being said, there has kind of been a leak.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody...
I have not seen this leak.
So, somebody actually data mined the Switch's most recent update.
Sure.
And they found some interesting things. I a lot of this jargon I don't understand, especially in terms of checking out the source code of things and data mining.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know a lot of that stuff. I don't know how this is even in that. So take all of this with a grain of salt.
Sure.
But what they're saying is that this new Switch Pro is surprisingly going to have a 4K OLED display screen.
Okay.
Which is kind of insane.
Yeah.
OLED is expensive.
Very expensive.
Like, it's really not that much better than 4K, especially to the untrained eye. You're not going to notice the fucking difference.
And that small, there's tons of tests of when you get a 4K screen, how close you actually have to be.
Yeah.
And I think a 60-inch 4K screen, you have to be 2 feet away from a 60-inch 4K screen to notice the difference between 4K and 2K.
Yeah.
And when you get down to 10 inches, your eyeball has to essentially be touching the screen to see the difference.
Like, yeah,
between
okay,
2K
it technically looks nice, but it to the human eye, you really can't tell. I mean, hell, the human eye can pretty much only comprehend 30 frames per second anyway. Yet we have all these games run that are like touting that they run in 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second, and it's like you can't even tell. Like, if you really know what you're looking for, then yeah, you can. But to your average person, 1080p, 4K, 30 frames, 60 frames, that's all the same.
Yep.
Like, it's all the same. That being said, OLED screens are fantastic.
Very nice.
They have some of the deepest blacks that you're ever going to see, some of the more vibrant colors, but even that is all saturation at that point.
Sure.
But let's see here. It's expected to run significantly cooler, which is good.
Yep.
Maybe it would have helped my fan problem. And the rumor is that it's gonna come out Q1 of 2021. It could be like a situation where it's for the 4-year anniversary of the Switch.
Yeah.
Which would be March.
Would be amazed that they would come out with it and we haven't heard anything about it yet.
But they did that with the Switch Lite.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
And keep in mind, they may not have been talking about things because the pandemic really fucked with everything. There's a chance that we could have had this for Christmas last year, and
Nintendo really likes to recently make things kind of collectible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially with that new Mario Switch that they just came out with.
Yeah, that thing's pretty looking. I'm not going to get it.
No, I'm not either. But
no, it's pretty looking.
But
did you see how many people, like, the stuff that people were like joking about being confused what it actually was for? Like,
no.
It was red and blue, and they're like, "Are you sure this is Mario and not like this random sports team?" And like, it was all jokes.
It's for the Red Sox, like.
Yeah. It was like, wow, that's a really nice Red Sox, that's a really nice Coca-Cola Switch you got there. I don't know.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time something like that happened. But that all being said, we're still expecting, well, I mean, I guess we need to get some more information, but we're still expecting to hear something soon about Breath of the Wild 2.
Right.
I think it would be a very good thing
a pro launch game.
That's what I mean. It was a launch. Yeah. Breath of the Wild 1 was a launch game for the Switch. Why not do it again for Breath of the Wild 2? Because it was a system seller.
Yep.
Like, hands down, it was a system seller, and this is super anticipated. Like, people that don't even like Zelda love Breath of the Wild, and they're like, I can't wait for this new one.
Oh boy, I don't have the money for this.
Neither do I. Gosh. Let's hope the government comes through and actually gives us those $2,000 checks soon.
Right?
I wouldn't mind that.
So while we're on the title of wish list, I want to quickly add another little topic here.
Yes, please do.
So you don't have any of the new systems yet, right? You don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation.
No.
Okay. I also don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation. Mm-hmm. I've said, I don't know if I've said it here yet, like on this show. But I've said that a Mass Effect Xbox Series X special edition.
Yes, you did say this on the show.
Immediately get me to buy an Xbox, right? Is there a special edition game system that you would buy like immediately if it came out?
Zelda,
yeah.
Yeah. There's no doubt about it. Like, if they give me a Zelda console, I'll get it.
I was trying to think if there was something for PlayStation coming out, and like
Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, okay.
I would get it in a heartbeat. Like, even like, Final Fantasy and Zelda are my two favorite things, pretty much in the whole world, besides Star Wars. So, like, either of those things would get me to buy either of those consoles.
Sure.
And oh god, if they were to give us a Zelda Switch, a Zelda Switch Pro, imagine. I would have no choice but to buy two.
Right.
I'd have one to use.
And care. One in a box.
It could be the regular one, and the other one's going to stay in its plastic wrap.
Yep. All right.
That's just me.
So this next part we're just going to kind of breeze through really quickly. But you don't watch football too much, do you?
I don't watch football at all.
You don't watch football at all. Okay, so this weekend they had the divisional rounds for the playoffs, and during one of the games, I don't remember which one I was watching at the time because I was honestly not really watching them, but I think it was during the Saints-Redskins game, or not Redskins. See, there it is, the Saints-Buccaneers game. Yes. There it is. During the Saints-Buccaneers game, they had a really quick, like 30-second HBO Max commercial, right? And it was like, movies premiering this year on HBO Max. And then it was just like bang, 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 like 15 movies really fast.
Like a reel of sorts, yeah.
Yeah, but some of them like kind of caught me off guard. Like I wasn't expecting, I didn't realize Mortal Kombat came out.
Yeah,
on the 15th.
We just found this out together. Mortal Kombat's out. You can apparently go watch it on HBO Max.
Yeah, so Mortal
I'm
Kombat
very
on the
hyped to do.
15th. Dune is coming out October 21st. I'm excited for that. I never really got into Dune originally, but like, you know, the Mad Max and all this other stuff that we've gotten recently. Okay, Dune, sure. Yep. The Suicide Squad comes out August 6th. Now, the Suicide Squad, not to be confused with Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad is apparently a sequel to Suicide Squad, and The Suicide Squad is directed by James Gunn.
God,
so
that's almost better branding than the Wii to the Wii U. Wait, is it a new system, or is it just an add-on? Is it an expansion? Is the Suicide Squad just the same movie? Is it just being remade? Honey, I need to know.
So when I was, I don't know if I was, I don't remember when these movies came out, but when like they were on like Transformers 2 or 3, like I don't remember exactly when these movies came out, but
God.
you know,
I know where you're going with this.
younger me. Yeah. I went to Blockbuster and tried to, I think it was Blockbuster. I went to Blockbuster and tried to rent one of the Transformers movies, right? I grabbed the movie off the shelf, went up, handed it to the guy. He scanned it. I went home, put it in, you know, it loads up. I'm like, that's not Optimus Prime. How is this? I look at the box. I had rented Transmorphers.
That's like what are the Legos that are really big for kids, like little kids? What are they called?
Duplos?
Yes,
they're actually made by Lego.
Are they made by Lego? But same concept. Yeah. You think you're getting Legos, and no, you're getting these huge blocks. Go ahead, make Yoda out of that.
There you go. The Suicide Squad is coming out on August 6th. Space Jam, A New Legacy.
I am actually super excited for that.
Right?
Very much. I saw a screenshot of it the other day, and it looks really cool.
I saw a comment on Facebook. It was one of the, like, I don't know if it was serious or I don't know if they were like joking or what, but they're like, oh my God, LeBron James, why is LeBron James CGI'd? And everybody underneath it was like, what do you mean, why is LeBron James CGI'd? The entire freaking movie is CGI, you idiot. But yeah, no, that'll be
I can't wait to see what they do with that. Like,
yeah, it'll either be really good or terrible and hilarious. Like, honestly, I don't think it's gonna be bad and just like absolute crap.
As long as Lola Bunny is involved, I don't care. I'm kidding.
There you go.
I'm not kidding, actually. Lola Bunny is fine.
Yeah. So I got really excited watching this commercial because we got a split like second and a half of Godzilla and Kong going at it.
Okay. That looks cool too.
Yep. That's coming out May 21st. Okay. I do not have an HBO Max subscription right now, but I will be getting one for that.
Yeah. Yeah, Godzilla versus Kong would probably be pretty freaking cool.
Yep.
I mean, even if it's just cool in terms of like going back to Transformers, like Michael Bay Transformers, where it's just like really cool shots of huge things doing ridiculous things. Cool. I want to watch it.
We got that with King of Monsters. Yeah. Like that was a fun movie. So, and then Matrix 4, which apparently Matrix 4 is coming out this year.
I didn't know that was coming out at all. I didn't even know it was.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was in the works. I knew that they were either talking with Keanu Reeves or like he was on board with it already. Like I knew it was out there somewhere, but I wasn't expecting it this year.
Excellent.
So
I know, seriously, I can't wait because I mean I love the Matrix movies.
Love the Matrix movies.
But
they're so good.
What are they gonna do with it? Like that,
I don't know.
I really feel like that story ended, but maybe not.
Did, but
I don't know. Let's milk it a little more.
Yeah, I mean, the story ended, but it ended with the little girl sitting with the Oracle,
Yes.
you know, saying, you know, I made this for Neo, and it's the Northern Lights over New York, and you know, she's like, oh, that's really beautiful. Do you think we'll see him again? And you know, I think the Oracle says, you know, if we want something hard enough, one day it'll probably come true. So, or something like, you know, something like that. I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah, yeah.
seen The Matrix
It's
3 in
been
a
a
couple
long
of
time
years,
since I've seen it too. I'll have to rewatch them.
yeah, I'm probably gonna watch the first one tomorrow. Now that we're
Oh,
talking
that's a
about
good
this,
idea.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my daughter's seen Game of Thrones. She's seen Star Wars. She's seen, you know,
Your
I mean,
daughter's
seen.
seen.
She was 3 months old at the time, and her eyes weren't really open for more than like 20 minutes at a time. But
Gotcha.
I was a stay-at-home dad at the beginning,
Yes.
and you know, with a 3-month-old who just kind of sits there in her little bouncer, just
Yeah, shits every once in a while.
right. So, well, what am I going to do with my life? You know, oh, there's, you know, 80 odd some
Game of
hours of
Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Well, so
Yeah.
you know, she's seen all of that. She might as well watch Matrix. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, yeah,
That sounds
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
Okay,
All right.
so
The reason why we're here? No, it's not.
well, it's definitely a big one, but I do want to consolidate it because we're already at 45 minutes.
Yeah, no, we're gonna go.
Honestly, it's not. This isn't gonna be like Mandalorian, where there's not too much to talk about.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet. Oh, trust
Not
me, there
yet.
will be. I have theories.
There will be. I was saying to my wife again, you know, like we watched these yesterday at like noon.
This is WandaVision, by the way, everybody. We haven't actually said that. WandaVision.
No, yeah. We watched. I was making it suspenseful, TJ. Way to ruin it. We watched WandaVision yesterday at noon, and I had said to her afterwards, we went for a little walk, you know, to think about it and to digest it, and I said, this is going to get really stressful in a couple of months when we need to watch WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, a couple of movies, you know, Ahsoka, Bad Batch. Like, we got to watch all of these shows every week so that we can talk it, so that I can talk about them on the podcast. Well, around our work schedules, around making sure our daughter doesn't choke on something.
So much to think about.
But anyways, WandaVision.
What did you think of it?
I loved it.
So did I.
I thought it was great. I laughed harder than I have at any Marvel thing before. It's really well done.
Honestly, what got me, there's two characters that I really love. Obviously, I love Wanda and Vision, but I'm really a huge fan of their neighbor, Agnes.
Yes.
She's hilarious.
She's in every episode.
Yeah.
According to IMDb, at least.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And I really loved, oh my God, I can't remember what her name was, but the boss's wife in the first episode.
Yes.
The lady that plays the mom in That 70s Show.
That 70s Show, yep.
Where, like, when he was choking at that dinner scene, and she was just like, stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And then, like, it all ends, and they just get up. They're like, oh, that was lovely. Okay, bye. And it's like,
I mean, we were just talking about the Matrix. It's like a glitch in the Matrix.
Well, that's exactly what I think is going on.
Yes.
Now,
and we got the shot of at the end with right as the credits are starting to roll. You know, we get the shot of the guy in the control room.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? So they're in some kind of like. I go back to, I think it was Fallout 3. The main character goes into one of the vaults up towards the top of the map, and there's a bunch of people plugged into virtual reality chairs, and they're living out a, you know, non-wasteland world in these virtual reality chairs, you know, all plugged in. But then the character goes into this world and has to like solve a mystery of some murder in the world. And that's kind of what this feels like.
That's exactly what this feels like. I think what's going on is, so, well, let's kind of recap what happened.
Yes.
So the first episode was very much a setup, kind of showed you where Wanda and Vision are in the world, but
kind of where they are.
Kind
the first
of.
episode is like the 50s, and then the second episode is very much the 60s.
But it's still the same place.
Yes.
I can't remember what the actual town is called, but it's in New Jersey. First of all, I found that out because I watched a video and they looked at one of the phone numbers that was on like their house for sale sign, and it was a New Jersey number, which apparently is also the location of a Shield base, Sword or Shield base.
In Captain America Winter Soldier.
Yes.
He and Black Widow go to the base where he was trained.
Yep.
Which is in New Jersey. And they find the bunker that has I'm not going to remember his name, the scientist.
It starts with a Z.
Yes. They find him as a computer there. Yep. So there you go. Yep.
He very well may have something to do with it. But I think the location of New Jersey is crucial. I think it's definitely having to do with that base. But every episode is based on an old sitcom so far. The first one was like very Dick Van Dyke. I Love Lucy.
With a little bit of in there and a little bit of
yeah. And the second episode was very like Bewitched. They even had the intro that was like animated, very much like Bewitched. And you know they're doing all these like cheesy like the only thing they don't have is a laugh track at this point. Which I'm
they
sure
had a laugh track.
Was there a laugh track?
Yeah, there's a laugh track in there.
I don't even remember. And I'm sure we're going to be getting more laugh track.
My husband with his indestructible head. My wife with her floating plates.
Yeah. And indestructible head? Not really. So, that being said, I think Wanda is kind of creating this herself.
When do you think this takes place?
After Endgame.
After Endgame.
Yes.
Okay.
I think this is after Endgame because
okay.
Do you remember at the end of the last Spider-Man movie when we found out that Nick Fury was actually not the Nick Fury that we thought he was, and he was that was actually a Skrull, and Nick Fury is actually up in a space station?
Okay, I need to watch the Spider-Man movies again. But
it's like an after cut scene, end credit scene. It's showing Nick Fury and who's the girl that he's usually with? I can't remember her name.
Yeah,
but you know who I'm talking about. They're in a car together, and then they both touch their ear, and they transform into the Skrulls. And then it cuts to Nick Fury, who looks like he's on a beach. And he's like sitting in a chair, like lounging around, and he gets up and you realize that it's just like a room that he's in that makes it look like he's in a beach, and he's on like a huge space station. I think, well, now what we know about Sword and Shield, because Sword is crucial.
Yep.
Shield deals with on-Earth stuff. Sword deals with off-world stuff, as well as I believe other dimensions. At least in the comic books, they do. So, Shield is not looking for Wanda; it's Sword that's looking for Wanda.
Okay.
Because if you noticed when they would cut to the people that are watching her show in the real world, there's a Sword logo. The helicopter.
Is that what that is?
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what logo that was,
that's a Sword logo.
I knew you would know what it was, but
the helicopter, the toy helicopter that she found, that was the only thing that was in color.
Yep.
Also Sword logo. And on the back of the guy that crawled out of the sewers, the beekeeper also had a Sword logo.
Also had a Sword logo on it. Yep.
So I think this is a bit of two things. I think Wanda is creating her own world to kind of protect herself. It's like a protection mechanism of sorts.
Sure, because her lover, her boyfriend, her husband, for all intents and purposes, is gone.
And keep in mind,
And
she's been essentially non-existent for 5 years
right,
because she was snapped out.
yep,
And then she came back at the end of Endgame. So all of a
yep,
sudden, she's just dealing with all this stuff.
yep,
It's got to be kind of weird. But I don't think that's it.
hmm
I think this is the reason she's put up this shield mechanism is because she is trapped. Do you remember in episode 2 where Wanda was talking with Dottie
yep.
and they were listening to the radio?
And then
And
the radio started crackling.
and it was like,
Yep,
"Come in, Wanda. Come in. Who's doing this to you, Wanda?" So
yep,
somebody is doing this to her.
yeah.
But this world that she's living in is her. I think it's going to be her own safe place.
Like her own cocoon or something.
Yeah, and they're trying to get her.
Her own
Now,
escape from reality. Sure.
Agnes.
Agnes.
Let me figure out exactly what this person's name is. Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, if she's an actual character from the comics, like,
So
because I don't know anything about Wanda from the comics.
there is a character in the
Mhm.
comics named Agatha Harkness.
Okay.
She is basically who, if I remember correctly, she's like one of the original. Yeah, she's one of the original witches from the Salem witch trial,
Okay.
and
Sure.
she kind of helps Wanda figure out her
Who
own
she
powers in a way. However, she also has a huge connection to a character named Mephisto,
Okay.
who is where is it? He's basically Marvel's devil.
Okay.
And I believe she's like either romantically involved with him or something. But
Sure.
this character's name is Agnes, which is
Right.
like if you cut out everything in the middle of Agatha Harkness.
You get Agnes. Right.
And so I think she's going to have a lot to do with it. And even in the trailer for WandaVision, there's a shot where they're like all dressed up for Halloween, and she's dressed up like a witch.
Right.
So there's so much
It's
stuff,
there.
and
It's there. Yeah.
and she keeps mentioning her husband Ralph.
Mhm.
I think his name's Ralph, but we've not seen him yet.
No.
We haven't seen him. There was one throwaway line, and it was such a throwaway line that I didn't realize that she even said it until after I watched a couple of videos. But when they were at that that wives meeting,
Yeah.
she said like someone mentioned the devil, or what's the devil getting into, and Agatha or Agnes rather said he's getting into more than just that or something like that, or like he's implying kind of that she's screwing him.
Yep.
And like that's such a throwaway line, but it's
Sure.
I think everything that she is saying.
Throwaway line, but it also could be everything.
Yes, I think you need to make sure that you focus on everything Agnes says in the show, because I think she's aware, fully aware.
Yeah. She may even be part of the people like experimenting.
She could be the one doing it,
right.
For all we
and
know.
the problems that they find themselves in are very much designed around making Wanda and Vision, or just Wanda if Vision's not actually there. Like that could be a whole nother thing if Vision's just a figment of Wanda's imagination.
Yeah.
But either way, they're all designed around getting Wanda to use her powers.
Yep.
And Vision to use his powers.
Yep.
Like there's very much something happening here that is testing Wanda and making her use her powers so that somebody can either gauge how strong she is, or figure out where her powers came from, or figure out what they're based on, or whatever.
But watch next. Honestly, I would suggest rewatching both of these episodes and looking at things in the background, because like it's so subtle, but their wallpaper, and I think it's episode 1, their wallpaper like next to the kitchen has a mural of sorts. It's very faded, it looks like, but there's like a mural of the like penitentiary system that Wanda and her brother were held in when they were being tested upon. It's literally right there. Like like so everything that's in this world is being manifested by Wanda.
Right.
Even down to like dates and like food items and what's up with the color red. Like red is the only color that we've seen so far. We've seen it on the until the very end. Yes, but we saw it on the helicopter. We saw it on the blood, and red also made an appearance by the thing that made Vision drunk, being big red gum.
Right.
Red is a thing. I don't know why, but red's a thing.
That's her main costume color.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she is the Scarlet Witch.
Oh. Yeah, no, it was really good. I mean, apart from like, I loved the stuff that was kind of out of universe, and maybe it'll end up being in the universe, but like the commercials.
Oh, dude, well, they're very intriguing. That's another time where we saw red. In the toaster commercial, the red blinking light.
Toaster was made by Stark Industries.
Yep, and the watch was made by Hydra.
Watch was made by Hydra, and that was fun.
And I believe the name of the watch, or the name of the company that did the watch, was the guy that was working to make the Winter Soldier who he was.
Yep.
I can't remember what his name is off the top of my head right now.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that's that guy. Yep. But there's way more to this show. And for the children, what was up with that?
This creepy little chant for the children.
How many children have we seen?
I don't know that we've seen any.
We haven't seen any.
Until all of a sudden, apparently now Wanda's pregnant.
Now all of a sudden she's pregnant. She did a little twirl and now she's pregnant.
Yep.
Now, this is another thing that I'm going to get like into terms of theories.
Yeah.
If somebody is doing this to Wanda, I think they're not just trying to get to give her, like, learn her powers, like you were kind of saying. I think they're trying to get her to have kids.
Sure.
Which is canon to the comics. She has kids, and she eventually actually uses her powers to rid the whole world of oh my god. What do you call the X-Men? Mutants. She rids the whole world of mutants. I'm sorry, that was a huge word that I just totally... Did you see the look on my face? I totally lost it.
You had it, and then you lost everything.
Lost everything. She rids the world of mutants, though.
Yeah?
And her kids are mutants.
Right.
One of her kids is actually a speedster, like her brother. And then there's another one. I don't remember exactly what he does. But I think that whatever she's in right now, they're trying to get her to have kids.
Okay.
And I think it has a lot to do, and we're actually going to kind of get into the next topic, which is where do you think Marvel's going to go? I think they're trying to find a smooth way to incorporate mutants into Marvel.
Okay.
Because now that they have the ability to use X-Men, they're going to. They've avoided it for so long. Yeah. They couldn't even say the word mutants when they first introduced Wanda and her brother, Quicksilver. And now all of a sudden they can, so they're going to.
Right.
That's cool.
That's so great.
That just shows us that we're going to be getting some really good movies.
I hope so.
They're really going to be expanding this universe even more than it's already been expanded. Like you thought Avengers Endgame was the best thing ever. Just wait.
I mean, we talked about it a little bit with Star Wars last time, but I feel like we're going to get, like, I think Marvel will do a better job of it than Star Wars is, because Kevin Feige and Jon Favreau, like, these people have such a respect, and like I'm not the Star Wars fan who like absolutely despises Kathleen Kennedy, but like I feel like she doesn't have the respect, or like the, you know, she doesn't have the year. She's just a political figure from Disney who happens to be running Star Wars.
She doesn't have the drive for it like Kevin Feige does, or like Jon Favreau.
Sorry. Jon Favreau, yeah. So like these guys, like they're gonna make sure. Yes, they're just throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall, but I think a lot more of their stuff is going to stick than the stuff we're getting from Star Wars.
Well, it's also a matter of we're dealing with comic books here. Comic books are supposed to be out there. They're supposed to be outlandish. They're supposed to make you go, "What the fuck?" Oh, it's a comic book.
And there's also source material that they're working from.
Yes.
Like Star Wars, The Mandalorian, there's no source material for The Mandalorian. I mean, maybe there is somewhere in the back of, Lucas's mind, but probably not.
All they have is stuff in Star Wars, at least. All they have is stuff that they've now deemed not canon. However, with comic books, you can just, like, as they've been doing for decades now, every comic book series it's kind of its own thing. It doesn't need to connect. Like they do for a while connect, but like, okay, now we're gonna reboot it and we're gonna do
10
this
or
guy.
15 years we get a reboot.
Yeah. And everybody and everybody is just kind of in that understanding of, okay, new universe. They have already expressed that there's multiple universes. So
and the MCU is doing a really good job of like just off the top of my head, look at Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Like how many comics is Ragnarok?
I think there's a whole series on Planet Hulk, which is what that is technically.
Hulk, and then there's a couple of other things that like Ragnarok is like a comic book event. They took at least those two, and then there's a couple of others that they threw in there as well that I wasn't ready to talk about it, so I don't have them in front of me. But
well, Secret Wars for that matter. Do you know what Secret Wars is?
Yeah. And then like Civil War, Civil War.
That was his whole series.
It's a whole series, but the original book Civil War is like one of the better Marvel comics, in my opinion. I mean, we can get into that at a whole nother time when we don't have much to talk about.
Yeah. I just think that Marvel has a lot more to work with.
Yes.
Than Star Wars does.
They have a lot more source material that they can pull from so that they're not making it up.
Yeah.
And then, people are like, oh, I don't know that you should have done it that way. Instead, they can be like, no, this episode of WandaVision is based on this comic and this comic. That's why we did this.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with this. Like, it's... Yeah. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed this show. I did. Yeah. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm excited. Count me in. Count me in.
No, it's fun. It's
fun. This is now moved from a Mandalorian show. We are now a WandaVision show. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe.
Until something else comes out.
Yeah. Until Ahsoka comes out.
WandaVision show. Yes.
But yeah, so I really think I think that's where they're going to start going with with Marvel. I think they're really going to start bringing in these extra characters that they couldn't bring in yet. And I think they're really going to start expanding the world in terms of expanding the universes.
Right.
Like we've already heard all the rumors about the Spider-Man movie that's coming out.
Right.
Spider-Man 3.
With 5 or 6 different Spider-Mans in it.
Give or take. I mean, it's all rumor. It's all hearsay. But, they've explored it before.
Yep.
Why not? I mean, we can get all the X-Men. We can get Fantastic Four. We can get... There's so many things that we can get.
And once you throw X-Men in, like, there's, we can do so many crossovers.
Yeah. Deadpool can finally be indoctrinated into the actual Marvel universe, which would be fantastic.
Instead of just making fun of it from over there.
Yeah. I'm a Fox guy. No, now you're a Disney guy. Get used to it, Deadpool. But
all right.
I think that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I think that's our time for this week. Thank you so much for stopping by our little corner of the internet.
Thank you.
I'm Mills.
I'm TJ.
And we are the Temple Nerds. Let me throw a few things at you. You can find us over at YouTube. Unfortunately, at YouTube, you still got to just search Temple Nerds. You'll find us there. We're on Twitter at Temple Nerds. We're on Twitch at the Temple Nerds. Yep. That's all of it, I think. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thank you again so much for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch, and we will catch you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.